board meeting at this time on school district, Old Pitt School District number 22. First matter on the agenda we have here, opening meetings. We will have a pledge of allegiance, so everyone rise. Mr. Courtwright, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, next we have the treasurer's pledge. Yes. You don't want to start? This is- You got it. Oh, shame. All right. This is Rogers.
Listen carefully, Mrs. Ferguson. As an adult and a treasurer, I am committed to search for all talents, skills, and intelligence that exist in all children and youth. I believe all children are capable of success, no exceptions.
Now, for a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Everyone may be seated. Superintendent Rogers, please take roll call.
Mark Linden,
Here.
Steve Courtwright,
Here.
Anthony Valentino,
Here.
Renee Lopez,
Here.
David Victor. All present, let the record reflect Mr. Victor arrived at 6:01.
Thanks. Did you get set up there, or do you stand by just for a second when you set your stuff up? Can you stand by for one moment? Is this computer up front? So, D, approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion for approval of the agenda? So, second. No. Okay, we have Mr. Lopez has made a motion, Mr. Anthony, in a second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All against? Motion passes. Next, we have 3 consent agenda items, approval of the action consent items. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve the action item.
Mr. Courtwright has made the motion for the action consent items at this time. Do I have a second? Second. Mr. Valentino has made a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All against? Motion passes. We're going to move on to 4 recognitions. And Superintendent Rockwell, would you like to begin?
Sure. I just want to state that the district treasurer hunter of mine, and this doesn't mean that this is a treasure hunter above all else, but just at the district level, we have the school levels and the district level, is our special education director, Mr. Brian Martin Smith, who is not able to be here tonight. And then our principal of Arizona City Elementary School, Mr. Tapia, is not able to be here tonight either, and so Mr. Tarzan is going to take care of the recognitions for both schools. Thank you, Mr. Tarzan.
Okay, we're going to start with ACES, because that's what I have first on my list of stuff. So is Jasmine Mercado here? Come on up, Jasmine. So Jasmine, you got this from Mrs. Coda, and Mrs. Coda said that you go out of your way to fill other students' buckets. When a student is having a hard day and feels sad, she asks them to play with her or gives them a hug. Jasmine is constantly coming up to me, letting me know if someone is down or in need of something. Then she will share with me what she did to brighten their day. Sometimes she can be very hard on herself when she doesn't get a perfect score on something. But this month she realized that no one is perfect, and mistakes are how we learn things, and sometimes mistakes help us remember things. Jasmine never gives up and always puts her best effort. That is why she deserves Student of the Month. Congratulations, Jasmine. I know I'm not your principal.
Thank you. Beautiful. Good job. Good job.
Next is Allison Munoz. Allison, are you here? I'm still going to read it because I like to do that. So Allison is a joy to have in my class. She's a hard worker and stays on task, finishing her assignments quickly. She is kind and thoughtful and is always willing to help. Next, we have Luke Casalata. All right, Luke. So Ms. Red said, I selected Luke because he has improved a lot.
I am a good student.
Yes, you are. Especially with his communication. He goes along with classmates, and he always goes through the front door with a big smile on his face, greeting teachers and classmates.
I have the action.
You want to get a picture? Get a picture? Okay.
Say cheese.
Cheese.
Gotcha.
All right. Make sure you hold it tight.
Fire.
Raymond Farish. So Raymond's a seventh grader in Mrs. Pavan Sewell's class. So Raymond comes to school prepared and ready to learn. He is responsible and respectful to his peers. Raymond will take the lead in any task and is always cleaning up after himself and others. Congratulations. For the ACES Treasure Hunter of the Month is Stephanie Gregorio. Stephanie has served a variety of roles in her time at ACES. No matter what task is assigned to her, she takes on without complaint. If there is a moment when Stephanie does not have something to do, she takes it into her own hands and helps out wherever needed. Stephanie is a remarkable, kind individual who truly wants what is best for our students. Thank you for everything you do. All right, now on to TES. When I call your name, if you come up here, I'm going to start reading because your teachers and staff members wrote a lot about you guys, so I'm going to start reading as you're walking up. So for the elementary, Itzel Echevarria. Come on up, Itzel. So she's in first grade, and Itzel's an exemplary first grader in Miss Pittman's class. I witnessed her kindness for many of her classmates. While washing her hands in preparation for lunch, she stopped what she was doing when she noticed that another student needed help. She turned from her needs and focused on the needs of another student and helped them open the door. She was never asked to do so. As a citizen of this school, she saw a need and understood what needed to be done, and then she took immediate action to help. Itzel never speaks out of turn during class. She cleans up after herself and others. She is on task even when she wants to do something else. This takes willpower even for an adult. Thank you, Itzel, for being a true kid at Hope.
Thank you, good job.
Next for junior high, we have Elsie Harper. Not only is Elsie an A student with a heart of gold, but she also does many things that others do not know about. Elsie helps other students when they are in need. She will show students how to organize their work and prioritize what needs to be done first. Elsie is kind and caring to everyone and everything around her. If a teacher fills in for another, she will help the adult in the room by giving additional information if needed. Elsie is the epitome of what a kid at Hope represents. Thank you, Elsie, for being you. And our treasure hunter of the month is Sherry Roberts. She is wonderful with the students. She supports them in their social and emotional needs. She is fantastic at coaching the students and brought them to victory last year in soccer. Even though she was not sure about the rules of the game, with very little experience in the sport. This is one of the coworkers who said this. She taught herself the rules and practices. She understood each of her athletes' strengths. She greets the children with a wonderful smile and gives everyone a motherly hug. As a coworker, she is supportive and a joy to work with. She calls herself just a placeholder in the school system. I believe she is wrong. She gives more to the students than she realizes. They all call a cheer when she walks by. We are blessed to have her work here. Thank you to Sherry for being just who you are.
Thank you, Mr. President.
All right. Now we'll have a pause in place. You're all welcome to stay for the governing board meeting if you'd like to. We understand that you have other things to do with your children. If you wish to leave at this time, it's a good time to do so. If you wish to stay, you're more than welcome to stay for the meeting tonight. Congratulations, everybody, and have a good evening. Be safe.
Congratulations to all recognized. Great job.
Number 5, information discussion items, superintendent summary.
There were family teacher conferences on Friday, and the end of the first quarter is already coming up. That's on Thursday, September 28th. Fall break is around the corner, October 2nd through October 12th. Student tutoring classes are the second week of break, which is October 9th through October 12th. I want to say congratulations again publicly to Julie Coda. She was recognized as being one of the top 10 teachers in rural America at an awards banquet on Friday. We did recognize her as being the ACES Teacher of the Year previously, but she made it to the top 10. And so that's an awesome accomplishment. We're very proud, and it's of Mrs. Coda, and that's very well deserved. She's an outstanding teacher. The ASBA Law Conference, we attended the first part of this month, September 7th and 8th. President Lindgren, Dr. Valentino, and Mr. Richter were the attendees, and so I'm going to give them a chance to talk to the board about anything that stood out for them during the conference. So, President Lindgren.
I will defer that to, I've been here doing this for a few years, and I'd like to have the new say what they have on their mind. Mr. Richter.
One thing that stood out to me at the conference was the keynote speaker on the second day, who spoke about the Thrivers program, social and emotional learning program we mentioned. And I'm taking that back, and I have bought the book and read the book since the conference. I'm very impressed with that. The other part that I found intriguing because of my passion and what I do is the section, I think all of us were in that section, that spoke about the safety plans for students with disabilities. And I think that's really something that stuck out in my mind, in the fact of having to write that in IEPs. And I went, oh, because I'll be honest with you, as a teacher, I never thought about writing something like that into an IEP. So I think that was a very important learning point for me. That session in particular.
Excellent. I agree with you. The keynote speakers, I think both keynote speakers brought something to the table. I believe the second was probably one of my favorites. She's probably the most emotional of all. Not many dry eyes in the house. But I now refer to Mr. Valentino.
The conference was worthwhile. I was most impressed by the first keynote speaker. And I really appreciated he gave a good defense of equity in education in terms of teaching kids the way that kid needs to be taught. And that made a lot of sense. I particularly appreciated he emphasized more than once in his talk about the importance of mathematics and stated specifically algebra as a gateway to college. I was very impressed by it. I wish I had an opportunity to speak with him. He was a little crowded signing books. I wasn't buying a book. The conference was worthwhile.
Very good. Thank you. I totally agree with both of you. I enjoyed the whole conference. It had a lot to soak in and to bring to our school. And because we are a small school, there are some things that were brought to light about, again, when the doctor was talking about the first keynote speaker, he emphasized this mathematics, the algebra, big time. I'm also going to emphasize reading as being something. You can't do that algebra if you can't read.
That's why Jerry's here. We have an ASBA county meeting coming up on Wednesday, October 18th. That's this week. That's, okay. That's from 5 to 7 at the Casa Grande Elementary School District. So let me know if you would like to be registered too. That's
All right. Moving on, information discussion items. D, we have various sites.
So our total monthly expenditures for the month of August were $846,367.34. You'll still notice that we have a negative budget balance in our salaries. That we will continue to see that negative number until we do a budget revision in December. We are confident that with the budget revision, the approval of our literacy plan and the additional carryover amount, that we will eliminate those negative numbers. For capital, we have about 50% available, which equates to about $400,000. And in our revision, we also have the option to move some of that money to our M&O budget if we need to. So we still want to continue that we monitor spending, but we're confident that we'll maintain a positive balance once we do the revision.
Excellent. Any questions? I see no questions. All right, well, thank you very much for that. It's just a revision we're waiting for, so we're all understanding. And I look forward to. All right, so Ms. Narda for this Arizona School Facilities Board, oversight, board application report. Good.
Yes, sir. Can you all hear me? I don't need to get a microphone.
I can hear you.
So many people out here.
Boss has spoken. The doors. Okay, the doors are pending. That's gonna be a while. The chillers, moving on to the chillers, that was fixed. We were waiting on the board. It had the control board. It has been approved. It's just that we have to do a change order because it wasn't originally in the original amount. So we have to do a change order with SFOP. So we're waiting on that. The ACEs that was, the AC unit that was installed for room 4 at TES was installed and it is running. The classroom is back in its class. The last one is the gym. We were approved for everything. We received the approval from SFOP. We received all the bids, and so we're waiting for the finance department to make the purchase order.
Excellent. So that's what I was saying, school oversight board application.
SFOP.
I'd rather just say it out, because that's what it is. Everything's got back. Well, we're done with that, we can move on. So let's call the public, do we have call the public? No, we do not, we're moving on to action items. Action item A, AARP, Achieve Canal Reading Program.
Good afternoon. Mr. Board.
Madam Superintendent, thank you very much for the opportunity to spend some time with you today to talk to you about the AARP Experience for Achieve Canal Program. Let me know what I'm referring, is that good there? Volume-wise? That's good, okay. I don't want to be too loud. And my name is Jerry Stapley. I am the chairman of the advisory board for this program. And I am also on the school board for Casa Grande School District. I'm actually president of the board this year. So I've walked a mile in our shoes. And it is my pleasure to talk to you about our expansion program. We are very, very fortunate that we have received a one-year grant from the state of Arizona, almost $600,000. And this allows us to offer our reading program to 10 school districts in Pinal County, on the western side of western end of Pinal County. A little bit about the program itself. We are a literacy program that helps students who are up to 1.5 years below grade level become strong readers and readers by the end of third grade. So it improves reading ability of students by building fluency. And fluency is basically being able to read at the speed at which you speak. And that's always our goal when we're working with our students, to be able to reach that threshold. And reading fluency is a strong indicator of overall reading ability. And when somebody is fluent, when somebody has fluency, the cognition, the understanding really follows the speed at which they read. So the program recruits, screens, trains, and supports volunteers, 50 plus. 50, we just found out recently that 50 is really not as hard and fast as we thought it was. So if you know somebody who's 45, 46 and wants to do it, we can make it work for them. Students receive 6 months of one-on-one tutoring, so it's individual one-on-one tutoring, and they receive 2 one-half-hour sessions per week. And our volunteers tutor anywhere between 3 and 4, and 3 to 4 prefer 4 students, because that then extends our reach. If we're only tutoring 2 or 3, then we have tutors that really aren't performing up to their potential. So why focus on reading? Something that you all know is that children learn to read and then they read to learn. Mr. President, you were talking about that with math. If you want to do algebra, you have to know how to read first. You're absolutely right with that. And being able to read by the end of third grade is the crucial milestone in a child's future success. Children who cannot read well by 3rd grade are 4 times more likely to leave school without a diploma, are more prone to behaviors such as truancy and aggression, and just behavior issues in general in the classroom, even with young students. I had a 2nd grader who couldn't read, and she was acting out of class already. Just at the beginning of 2nd grade, she was acting out because she saw that other students could read, but she couldn't, and she didn't know why. And so she was using coping mechanisms to deal with that. Community benefits, students have greater success at school, both graduate from high school, and then they're more open to post-secondary programs and able to qualify for those programs as well. And those programs, whether they be job training, whether they be community college, whether they be university, will all benefit the students. So they have a greater earning potential and quality of life, both for themselves and for their eventual families. Eventually, these students will grow up, they'll get married, they'll have children, and if they have greater earning potential, then they help the entire family. So we're breaking the cycle of poverty. Often the kids that are struggling are the kids that have financial, their families have financial issues. And through this program, we're hoping to break that cycle of poverty and replace it with a cycle of prosperity. And we have a bright economic future. I don't think anybody can argue with me about that. If we have workers who can take the jobs that are being offered. When I was a young person, I worked in York Air Conditioning Company in my hometown. And there I would get orders for 10,000 parts, and I'd stand in front of the machine and make 10,000 parts. The jobs are very different. Industrial jobs are very, very different. They require people who can read, who can think, who can solve problems. An example is, again, back to my hometown, there's a Harley Davidson plant. And those beautiful paint jobs that they put on these gas tanks are done by machine. So if somebody works on the computer, enters the information in the computer, hits a button, and the spray nozzle comes out and automatically creates that paint job. So that person running the machine has to know, first of all, how to program it, how to set it all up, how to debug it, how to fix it, if it goes bad. And all these things require skills, reading, analysis, and problem solving skills. There's a progress maker, of course, for the state of Arizona as far as reading is concerned. Our goal for the state is to have 72% reading at grade level. The state, we're at 46, and we're now counting at this point is at 33. So obviously there's more work to be done in reading our county. Experience Corps itself is a program run by AARP, operates in 26 cities across the nation. There are over 2,000 volunteers that take part in this program. Arizona has 4 programs. The whole program started in Tempe in 2006, and has actually been given over to AARP, who took it over. The program itself started in Tempe. In Phoenix, they've been doing this since 2014, and Mesa started our program today. We are in our 4th year. We're coming up on our 4th year program. So we were the 3rd program in the entire state. So it was in Flagstaff, and it was in Tucson. It was in California. And we began tutoring in November of 2020. We had to do it virtually, as you recall. We were in the middle of the pandemic at that point. And so we had to switch gears. Everybody else that was part of the program, all the other affiliates were used to tutoring in person. And they had a very difficult time transitioning to doing it online. For us, we had never done it in person before, so it was a little bit easier to do. And being able to tutor online is going to be very, very important for us here as a rural county. We only have a certain population we can draw from for our tutors, and we need to draw from the state of Arizona and also from the rest of the country. And so being able to do it virtually will allow us to do this. Because we'll be on our computers, and the tutors will be on their computers at their home in Kansas City, wherever they live. We start off with 3 schools, and we had 94 students at that point. So we finished our 3rd year last year with 3 districts and 167 students, and there you can see our numbers. The results, we had tutored a total of 426 students over those 3 years, and 73% of our students progressed to entire grade level in the last school year. Nationwide in the program, again, all those other affiliates I mentioned, they averaged 62% gaining 1.5 grade level. So we're essentially doing better than twice as well as the other programs in the nation. I have a story of 2 students I'll tell you briefly. The first student I mentioned to you was the one who was acting out in class. She actually hid during her session. She had hid in the restroom. She had hide in the restroom rather than do a reading session because she knew she couldn't read and didn't know why. She actually went from 6 words per minute to 75 words per minute. And at the end of the school year, she was writing out scores. So I was reading to her. She wasn't paying attention to me. She was writing out scores. She was asking me, how do you spell this word? How do you spell that word? And so I expect some great things from her because she had quite an imagination. But the second student, just last year, as a matter of fact, and at the end of the year, this student started in December, so 3/4 of the year with us. And her teacher came in and told me that she asked the student to read to her, again, in May. And the teacher's unspoken comment at that time was, "Who are you?" Because that student had progressed so much in her reading. And those are just 2 examples of the power of this program. So every tutor is assigned 4 students, hopefully again. Work with each child individually for 30 minutes, as I mentioned, meet with them twice weekly, and meet with them anywhere between 24 and 28 weeks. And I mentioned the fluency part. A little bit about our sessions, so again, 30 minutes, opening activities, just chatting with the child. The power of this program really is the relationship created between the tutor and the student. And that relationship is created whether it's in person or online. And that's one of the things we found out at the end of our first year during the pandemic. The superintendent of the elementary school walked around and watched the sessions and was very, very surprised at the bond that had been created by the students and the tutors, even though they had never met each other in person. They only met on the computer. So we work on fluency, and that's the main thing we do. And basically, it's broken down into different, we call them games, but basically it's a chance for repetitions. So we have use the ABC readers and use repetition. They read something, we read something. We'll play one game where we read a sentence and leave a blank, and they have to fill in the blank. And then they get to read the sentence and leave a blank for us. And that empowers them, and they always pick the hardest words. Usually pick the hardest words. Sometimes they get easy ones. I can never figure it out. Yeah, who knows? And then we do, as I mentioned, we read aloud also. And that allows the students to hear inflection, pacing, and also the feeling that somebody gets when they read a book that they enjoy. Foster the love of reading with the students. Closing activities, and taking them back to the classroom. So this is our reward as tutors. I received some of these, not as good as this one, because this student asked the tutor to be her grandma, and so I wouldn't qualify for that, but that is very cool. So funding the role model with the grant we have this year, we're looking to get 80% of our funding this year from grants, donations, and events, and 20% to come from school districts, municipalities, and supervisor districts. We don't have the luxury that the big cities. We are actually the only fully rural program in the nation as part of this, as part of the Experience Corps. There's others that are in a city that serve an adjacent rural area, but we are serving a rural area. And so we don't have a large city that can come in and pay for staff. For example, City of Tempe has 3 staff people that work for the City of Tempe that run their program, Mission 4, their program in Tempe. We don't have that luxury, so we have to spread the costs out to as broadly as we possibly can, including municipalities, including the county, but including the school districts as well. So what we would ask then from the school districts participating in the program for this year would be to contribute $3,000, and that would be annually that would occur. And with that, we'll be looking at anywhere between 20 to 30 students, depending on volunteers. We do ask a lot of our volunteers, again, 6 months, twice a week, 4 hours, 2 hours each day, so about 4 hours per week. And that's a commitment, that is a commitment for folks. We do have substitutes when people have health issues or going on vacation, hopefully more fun. And, but still, it's quite a commitment. We also ask you to work with the municipality. Actually, your supervisor, the county supervisor is already given this fund, so this one you don't have to worry about. Help us actively recruit local tutors. Any retired teachers that you know of, if you have an association, that would be wonderful. Just help us find ways to recruit tutors for you. We look for a room for the tutors. Sometimes we tutor in a hallway. That's not optimal because it is kind of noisy. Kids going back and forth to the restroom. But it can work. But we would prefer to have a room if possible. Also, computers for the students who are being tutored remotely. Reading test data is very, very important for you to share with us, for us all to decide who qualifies for the program and where they should start with what level we should start with. And then so that goes into your language arts coaches to help us select students. And this talks about what we're looking from the county, and again, contributing 1/2 of the school district's contribution annually, and becoming a member of the Canal Alliance, which the county pays. So, Mr. President, members of the board, that is my presentation. I look forward to any questions you may have.
What exactly is the Canal Alliance?
Canal Alliance, it's the Canal Alliance for Economic Development. It's a group composed of Canal County, city of Eloy, the city of Casa Grande, and I think there's one other. And it is focused on bringing industry and jobs into the area, but also focused on finding ways to make sure that we have a workforce that is capable of working the jobs that we're bringing into the area. And that's how this program was developed. When the members of the Alliance looked at our numbers as far as the reading numbers, they said, what can we do about this? And that's when I came along. I had been tutoring up in Phoenix, and I came along and said, hey, let's bring this program here. We can do this. And so that was 4 years ago.
Where do you meet with the students and when?
We meet with them in the school. We meet them during the day, if possible. There are some districts that are looking into whether we can do it in the evening. And it's kind of a challenge because we're spending a half hour with each one. And that can be a challenge. I don't know if it possibly be worked out, but that can be a challenge. And so, again, we're meeting in a classroom in the school.
I assume that participation is in no way tied to a membership of AARP.
I'm sorry.
I assume that somebody being a volunteer doesn't obligate you to be a member of AARP.
No. But really, if you're over 50 years old, they basically say, you're a member, so I've never sent them money. I've sent them to the foundation because of what I'm working on, but it's a strict membership. I can send them money for that. So, yeah, don't have to be there.
I appreciate you bringing this program to our county. We met when you were first doing that, and I was very excited to finally get the opportunity to participate. So I appreciate all of your hard work. And you've been working with the legs of this program, and I appreciate all that you've done.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you.
So now we have the district annual contribution for $1,000, estimation 30 students. And ask, is there any more questions that have been asked? I'm going to look for a motion to accept the achievement outcome review program. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Valentino has made a motion. Do I have a second? Second. We have a second from Mr. Richter. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All against? Motion passes. Thank you for bringing this to this group.
Thank you, Mr. Staley. And can you leave your phone number with Mrs. Ferguson so I can call you tomorrow? We can set up a time to meet. Okay, thank you for being here tonight.
Moving on to the action item B, 2023-24 GSD student academic calendar revision.
School was canceled on the 22nd of August because we had an electrical outage. So when we have an electrical outage, we don't have air conditioning, we don't have internet, we don't have phones. It becomes a safety issue. Well, there's that. And so the attached calendar has been revised to reflect one last academic day. And so it should be changed to the 100th day and how many days of learning in the first semester. But we had 2 bonus days, so to speak, 2 extra days in the calendar. So we're still fine with the number of learning days required by the state.
I think you answered all the questions. Anybody, do you have questions? I believe it's self-explanatory. Do I have a motion for the 2023-2024 DSD student academic calendar revision?
Make a motion.
No, I'm not. Mr. Lopez has made a motion. Do I have a second? Second. Mr. Lopez has made a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All against? Motion passes. Action item C. 2020. I'm sorry.
Last month, when we met, we approved the 23-24 TES Student Council Constitution. This month, we bring you the ACES Student Council Constitution.
And this is the 2023-2024 ACES Student Council Constitution. Are there any questions? If there are no questions, I ask for a motion.
I move that we approve the 2023-2024 Arizona City Student Council Constitution.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Lopez made a second. Mr. Corpus made a motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All against? Motion passes. Moving on to D, 2023-2024 student fundraiser and field trip list.
This is a matter of protocol to approve a list for possible fundraisers and possible field trips. And this is being brought to you again this school year.
Does anybody have any questions about this list that we have set?
Can I go to your point?
Yeah, be a volunteer. They don't vote. Field trips are so important for our students.
I think so too. It gives them a break from the academia, it gives them a chance to actually learn about each other in different venues than being in school. It gives them a chance to interact with one another.
And they're able to experience things that they may not experience and have the opportunity with the school.
All right. I move that, I'll make a motion, 2023-2024 student fundraising and field trip list, here funded. Do I have a second? Second. Very good. I have a second. Mr. Valentino, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All against? Motion passed. Moving on. Action item E, superintendent goals.
Okay, so the goals that we're bringing to you for approval is student letter grade improvements will remain on the list. Continued effort for financial recovery and budget control will remain on the list. Continued effort to improve community relations will remain on the list. Continued effort to improve appropriately certified teachers will remain. The two goals that will be added is student behavior support programs and improvement reading proficiency by the end of grade three.
Are there any questions? We have no questions. We have a motion for approval.
Motion to approve is discussed.
Mr. Latino, made a motion, do I have a second? Second. Mr. Ricker has made a second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All against? Motion passed. That's a very good goal.
Thank you.
And I have all confidence that you will accomplish those things, just as you have done.
Thank you.
Moving on to action item F, Arizona City Elementary School lead teacher assistant resignation.
Jamie Castellana was hired for a paraprofessional position. Her first day was July 20th of this school year. She was promoted to the position of special education lead teacher assistant beginning September 6th of 2022. Ms. Castellana resigned on September 5th, 2023, effective the same day due to medical issues.
Again, I always fall back on the why put more burden on a person who has medical issues. And I would, we need the liquidated damages to not have that penny $500. Any other people have anything to say? Any questions? Yeah, right.
Position where I had resigned for medical reasons, I waited, something, I'm sure, or she had medical issues. It's very,
Yes, it's not something that's come to them. It's not something that they wanted, it's something that we hopefully we can, hopefully everything works out well. So I guess my only question is in these resignations, you're supposed to be given a, this was, I see the letter, I resigned as of today. Is that consistent with your policy?
Well, the classified employees have they don't really have what's an official contract, it's a work agreement.
That's usually specified.
So it's best practice to give a 2-week notice, but that doesn't always happen as possible.
Street.
Any other questions? If there are no other questions, I need a motion.
Motion to approve and waive the liquidated.
Approving the liquidated damages. Or do we not ask for them to use it?
No, I'm saying, moving to approve it not to press.
I'm sorry.
Okay, okay.
Yes, I do too, very much so. And so I will actually make a second on that, Mr. Martin.
Second that.
All right, I'll have Mr. Lopez in a second on that. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All against? Motion passes. Closing of meeting. Next meeting.
October 9th is the second Monday, which is during fall break. As a general rule, we usually don't meet during break because, that presents difficulties for staff to attend. October 16th is the third Monday, and is the Monday staff and students return after the 2-day break, 2-week break, sorry. I'm going to say 2 days. There's the annual financial report has to be approved before October 15th. So we're probably going to need an extra meeting in October for the purpose of approving the annual financial report. And then October 23rd is the fourth Monday, and October 30th is the fifth Monday. So I propose that we schedule, if you're, according to your availability, the October meeting to be on October 23rd. And then we'll have to schedule did you have a date for the AR for that? You discussed
It would,
some dates.
yeah, the best day would probably be the 9th. They asked that we push this far back to the 9th as we could, just because we just got released, and we're still, completely changes.
Okay, so Monday, October 9th is what they're saying.
Yeah, as close to the 15th as we can, but that would be the 9th, I'm sorry, the closest for us, but we're going to keep on Monday.
Well, it doesn't have to be on Monday, it's not our regular working hours.
Yeah, so
Maybe the 12th of October, Thursday the 12th. We could also, depending on your schedule, we could also meet at a time other than the evening. It's not to you guys, your availability.
I'm open to any time change that. Because I'm off Monday, I would say Monday, but you guys can do it. It's not a problem. I like to meet you because if it's other than Monday, it would have to be an evening, but it doesn't have to be at 6 o'clock. Over 5 or whatever, but let's just try and keep everything even, keeled. Everybody knows when you show up and what time. And the only thing we are voting on is that one item. Short passes through.
Kathy Lopez advised me that it's breakfast. Goodness, it's pushing it. Pushing it, Kathy.
For me, I just would do the night super because I have that day off and you can do it anytime during that day.
I'm off for fall break, and for fall break, which I would work well.
And your break is that week at the night?
Right.
Can you be ready by the night?
So all you need to do is have a time on the night, and you want to have it earlier, or you want to have it at the same time as normal.
Mr. Butler, will you be working on that? Is that what you're following?
Yeah, I will be, but it's okay.
Okay.
Does anybody have a preference of time?
After that,
Regular time, whatever you day, really do care.
I'm just saying, if anybody has a preference, because that's a
Oh,
day off.
I think it's breakfast.
Yeah, I never really dated that.
You adjourn today, breakfast time?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
You're funny, bro.
Are you going to do the weekend? store right now.
It could be Monday the ninth, during breakfast. What's a good breakfast time?
Can you have the meeting that night?
Yeah, we're gonna try to before, so it should be.
I'm gonna say 9 o'clock, but maybe time to run the customer and get what I need to get for your breakfast.
Okay, we'll leave it up to you the time breakfast is.
Yeah, let's do 9 o'clock, meeting here short, and we'll set it for next.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so the meeting will be at 9 o'clock on the 9th. And are we all good for the 23rd? Our normal, regular meeting.
I'll send you guys a meeting.
So maybe, next regular meeting, October 23rd, is that good for everybody? Normal time? I'm good. All right. We get nods.
Will October 23rd work for everyone?
It works for me.
Yes, over here. That's nice. Mr. Cartwright?
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, so the only thing we have left is the adjournment. We will make a motion to adjourn. So, all right, so let's see, we have a motion in a second. Second. Mr. Lopez has made a second. You can make a second, that's good. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All against? Motion passes. Your turn.